Good morning, world. This is Reggie Greenpeak signing on from my backyard garden in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. I'm starting out with my berries and my kiwi right here. This is what you call, I just planted this yesterday. It's called a gooseberry. It's gonna give me nice, sweet Hinomaki red berries that I can use to make tarts and jams and jellies and even eat the fruit. So this particular bush will grow 1 meter by 1 meter in height, and it's perfect for this side space to my shed. So watch out for this. It's got a very special leaf. I couldn't even describe. It's serrated but rounded serrations, and watch out, it's got some thorn right there and right about there. So right now I planted 2 of that. Right about here are my kiwi plants, and I have 2 kiwi plants. This is a female one, that's a male one right about there, and on the other side right there is another female plant. For kiwi, so as to pollinate certain variety, and in this case I couldn't remember anymore if this is the Invicta variety or not, but however I bought it as a set from a local nursery in Frenchtown, and I'm hoping that it's gonna crawl all the way and meet my mulberry tree right about there. The mulberry tree, as you know, is the source of food of the silkworm. So that are my kiwi bushes, and right about here is some kind of a variety of an eggplant, and I apologize, it's a patio eggplant, and it produces bitter eggplant. I couldn't find the name. So this is a basil. 2 types of basil are combined in one pot: the violet basil and the green basil. And moving on to my dog kennel and my collection of herbs right about here. We will start out with Napolitano basil, which produces this really roughened surface, but very delicious aromatic basil with big leaves compared to a regular basil leaf. It produces right about there a very big leaf. So it's called the Napolitano basil. Then we have the regular basil, rosemary right here. It's gonna be good for chicken, fish especially. Then we have the regular Italian parsley right about here, pineapple sage, which I eat by itself. And then I got this from my neighbor, spearmint. I make green tea out of it in the morning. Then down here, I apologize, is chamomile. I'm going to show you a healthier version. This one I'm trying to resuscitate, but this is chamomile right here. This is another kind of basil called pesto perpetua basil. It's not as aromatic as a Napolitano, but it's good to chop up and put on your salad. Excuse me. Right about here is the German thyme. I have a variety of thyme I will show you. And then I use the dog kennel right now to be to put additional salad plants. So this is, I guess, some kind of arugula, but it tastes just like a regular romaine salad. It does not have the aromatic scent of or taste of an arugula. I have 2 plants of that. And then right about here is my favorite so far, the sorrels. Sorrel is very citrusy. Let me get the sorrel. This is my favorite, and I wish I've gotten more of this because I've been chomping on it. Like, you just pinch a little bit and then put it on your salad. And excuse that, fireworks. It's July 4 pretty soon. So that's about it. This one was grew from seeds. It's lime, and it was given to me as a gift by a family friend. That's lime. Right about here is a commercial lime that I'm growing, and so far I've been pretty successful in getting the leaves sprout up and produce this nice leaf. Next to it is the lemon plant that I bought from a regular hardware store, believe it or not. I got this from Tractor Supply, and it's lemon. I don't know what variety, but looks like I have a sucker, if that's what it's called, right about there. So I'll do a transferring of that, pretty much. I just planted this. This is a twin hanging basket that I got right about there and there. So I just planted this. This is a potato leaf. I'm gonna just eat the leaves pretty much, steam it and eat it with rice. Right about here are my kale, and kale. And this tiny collection here are my asparagus that I'm gonna go transfer in the next few days. So right about here are my climbers. We have butternut squash, which would be perfect. It'll produce fruits for me that I can substitute rice with. This is cucumber. And this is your regular zucchini squash. Okay. Now, this is the oregano that I've been telling you, the 2 varieties that I have right here. Again, the one, which is this one, and it's called variegata oregano. And this one, the yellowish one, which is the golden oregano. And then we have a collection of succulents right here, which I can see that right about there. I have some sprouts right there. Up here, is another sorrel, which is my favorite, the Rumex sorrel. Sorrels have this citrusy taste that is just so good with your salads. And then next to it is my red romaine. My red romaine leaf lettuce. So I'm gonna walk you, and I excuse for the very unstable movement of my camera. But this year, since I have a small space, I'm utilizing milk crates, and to stabilize my my pots, just because my ground tapers down towards the back, and I want to be sure they're quite stable. Again, here is a collection of climbers. This year I started planting grapes, so I have wine grapes here, and I'm just gonna, for now, let them climb and then transfer it later on. These are collections of wine grapes, red and green wine. As far as dwarf trees, I have the dwarf plum tree right there. And I'm gonna start pruning it soon. And then, for now, since I have no space, I utilize this area right here to raise up a variety and assortment of pepper. We're looking at sweet banana pepper, these are both sweet banana pepper, the habanero pepper. Of course, you cannot differentiate the pepper leaves from each other. There's no way I can, like, differentiate them. We have the chili red, I have the cayenne pepper, which is right now bearing some fruits or stuff for me. Then at the back of that, we have I'm gonna situate myself so that I can show you every collection. So this right here is a serrano pepper, and it's basically flowering now. Here on the corner, we have the Annenheim hot pepper, and then the red bell pepper, which is soon gonna give me some good stuff. And then we have the green bell pepper next to the red bell pepper, and again the sweet banana habanero pepper. So that is how I maximize the little space that I have in my backyard. So just about here, another celery leaf that I planted straight into my yard. I have a very rich yard. Chamomile. Then we have southernwood herb. Oh, this is one of my favorite right here. Fennel. Fennel right here. So I've been eating fennel now for the last 4 weeks, and pretty much it's ready to be harvested. But I want this plant to flower so that I can collect some seeds. Right about there are my lavender. Right there. And then I still have to do some work here and transfer my leek, L-E-E-K, to those who doesn't know this onion family plant. I love leeks, and so it's gonna go to my fruits. It's gonna go to my soup. Now I'm gonna go to my collection of trees, both flowering and fruit trees. So this is a dogwood tree. It gives me pink and cream colored flower. The leaves are kind of rough but non-hairy. It's no thorn. The flower is the best part of this tree. Here are my violets. It's gonna give me that violet, and then I mixed it with onions, spring onions. Again, my basil. So here is a patio baby variety of eggplant, and I'm gonna show you that I now have this little baby right here. We will harvest that in a few days, hopefully. So this is a flowering pear tree, and we sprayed it because it's getting some kind of fungus. So right now new healthy leaves are coming out, and I'm glad for that, because I was a little worried about this one. Again, these are your kiwis. My apple tree, which I did also find some fungus. It's called the rust fungus, I believe, but we also sprayed it with some organic stuff that I will talk about next videos, succeeding videos. So now it's growing this healthy leaves. So that's all I'm worried about, whether it's gonna grow that it's gonna, kind of phased out of that deceased immune state, immunocompromised state, and come up with new leaves. So it is. So right now I'm going to show you my collection of berries. I got 2 berries. The blackberry, which is climbing now, and then the blueberry bush that I'm so happy. It is thriving. The last blueberry I got, they're very hard to raise. It has to be a special condition, and that's, I'm lucky with that one plant right now. So I'm gonna start out with my tomatillo plant, which is flowering right now. Tomatillo, the German Johnson pink tomato, Belgium giant tomato. The purple boy tomato. The red razor cocktail tomato, which is flowering right now and giving me these fruits. And I guess for now, all my collections here are a repetition of the few varieties that I have. This time, I think I do not have Romano and some other big boy and some other ones. So right now, there's my mulberry tree giving us some fruits, I hope. And there's my shed. And this is the peach tree, which gave me flower today, this year. I planted it last year and gave me flower this year. It's the majestic peach tree. I have, to those who's wondering why I have these CDs right here, those are just bird deterrents. What it's gonna do is scare out other birds from landing in this tree. So, and then I just planted this cherry tree, this variety of cherry tree. It's called the Evans cherry. And yeah, I paid a good price for it, but it's a healthy variety. Right about there is a big cherry tree that has been here. And mind you, it's across the fence and it belongs to my neighbor, but I'm welcome to harvest any if I wanted to. This is another variety of cherry. It's called the cherry dwarf van. And then I have two kinds of pear. This one, whom I called pearly, it's the kefir pear tree, and just like the apple tree, it is suffering from this rust fungus, which I did spray organic with an organic pesticide. So I'm gonna go to the back. There's still some work here, and this pear tree right here would give me the Moonglow pear, and basically we're hoping that it thrives at the back. There's not much sunlight here, but I have to separate it from the rest just because it's giving us some areas of the, it's getting some fungus that I've observed around this area right about there. And so we sprayed the whole plant, did some pruning, and now it's producing this healthy leaves. Signing off, just showing you my little garden and the kinds of things that you can put in your tiny garden if you do some good planning. Thank you so much.